Welcome to my yard, otherwise known as the backyard barnyard. Okay, I wonder if any of that recorded. Doesn't look like it did. Okay, we have a water splash problem. I'm going to have to reset this somehow. I think that rock that is underneath is too wide this way. I think it's catching some of the splash from there, and it's wicking somehow along here, down here. This is the only wet spot around the pond, so I am not terribly pleased about that. But what I am pleased about is some of the progress I have made. Over in this bed here, around to here, I pulled all of the big weeds, the tall weeds that look just like this one here. I think they're goldenrod. If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. But when you are sitting on the patio now and on the deck, you have a clear line. It was started about here going back that it all was nasty. But you can actually see the pond now. And I can actually see the pond liner now, so I can start leveling it off, for one thing, and putting the rocks around. The edging really needs done. I've got to figure out how to stop that splashback problem over there. And how to get to those weeds in front of the little, well, I guess now that I've pulled all the irises out, I actually have access to it now. I need to get a machete out, I think. This yard is turning into a jungle again. I really don't like the Virginia creeper. Yes, it hides the fence. I'd rather have the ivy. And the ivy is being choked out by the Virginia creeper. So we're going to have to work on that. But in the progress, we've got baby strawberry. It's so cute. Baby strawberry there. Anyway, there's more underneath growing. Unnetted, but I really am not expecting crop this year. And that noise in the background is, I have no idea what it is. It's a big cloud of dust too. I wonder what that is actually. Let's go look. Be nosy. Big cloud of dust. They're sawing up the sidewalk for something. I wonder what they're doing. That's pretty nasty. They've got a flagman there. I recall that house, I'm pretty sure Well, I don't know. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say they're possibly putting in a new driveway entrance. I don't know what they're doing. But possibly a handicap access. There is an older woman that lives there. I'm nosy. And a few of the girls have a new nesting spot right. Let's see if I can get my finger pointed in the right direction. Right there, underneath the daylily, they've made a little nest. At least two of them like to sit there. I completely emptied the water barrels into the pond yesterday. Unfortunately, didn't seem to help much with all that splashback. These are all of the weeds that I pulled. Toss them over here. And I know the creeping Charlie might root in there, but I'll be whacking it out and the chickens will be killing it. Once that actually turns into a bed, it will be fine. Like the other ones are. The raised beds are just fine. That's pretty much for it for today. I doubt I'm going to get a lot done as far as the rocks go. That water leak really bothers me. Oh, tadpoles. Can you see the tadpoles? I don't know. They are not showing up on my viewfinder here because of the sunlight that's... But we do have tadpoles and water skippers. And there's something in here, in this pond. It's shaped rather fish-like, but it has feet. It doesn't look like a frog transformation. It might be a salamander, it might be a newt. The body shape was rather fish-like, like I said. It was long and flat up and down-ish, like the goldfish are. But of course, now that I have the camera out, it's gone. Love the purple iris when it's not over there in the dirt. Okay. Starting at this side of the yard for a change. Rain barrels working out very nice. Unfortunately, I've had to fill the fish tank a couple of times, not fish tank, the fish pond a few times, so it's not quite as full as I would like, but we are supposed to get rain this week, which will fill them up again. Here's my poor sad blueberries that we've had to fence off from the evil fiends. Look at what they've done to this poor thing. And we caught them jumping up to get the upper leaves. I don't know why. There's no blueberries for them to go after. I wasn't expecting blueberries this year anyway, because we did just plant them last summer, the end of the summer. This one, look at all of the new growth on here. From here on up is all new growth, and I think this is the pink lemonade blueberry bush. I'm not sure. I'm going to be propagating this if I can. Got more netting here over top of it. I'm going to build a fruit cage for them, I think. If only because this thing looks tatty and I don't like it, and the fencing doesn't go where it's supposed to. So I think I'm going to have to build a fruit cage, some sort. just fence this off completely. And this poor thing was also pretty much stripped bare. That's not a varmint hole or anything. That's where I was attempting to put fence posts in. And over here we have the poor little grape tomato that isn't doing anything at the moment, that needs weeded. So there, that's better. My pickling cucumber is vining up nicely. I think it is just amazing how they curl around like that to get out to a support. Basically, they just throw something out until it latches on something. But it's amazing how they do that. Nothing in the little poly house anymore. It's too hot. It was 89 degrees Fahrenheit here today, and that's just not good for me. There we have, is that going to be, yep, that's going to be a cucumber, I guess. I've never grown cucumbers before. That's the grape tomato that gets more sunlight, so it's doing much better than the poor other little one. Cherry trees are still doing well. The plants in here are very lush. This is the perpetual spinach. I've eaten some of this already, and it was very tasty. The parsnips are there. Let's see. That's a Brussels. That's a Brussels. That's a Brussels. Those are the rutabaga Swedes. That's a Brussels. Those are rutabagas. That's a cauliflower. Looks just like the Brussels to me, but anyway, that's what the seed pack said. I don't know. How do you know when these things are ripe? Do they push up out of the ground the way radishes do? I'm at a loss. Well, I guess I'll find out this year. And then over here, that rock is getting moved pond side. That will make a fabulous standing on looking at the fishies rock. Roma tomato, itty bitty Roma tomato. I don't know. Let's see, radishes are coming along very nicely. They seem to be enjoying the marigolds. And over on this side, I've got carrots. Now, I just saw Julie Drake transplant carrots. So I guess I could do that with the multitude that I have. Oops. The multitude I have here of carrots. Maybe I could transplant some of those along this row here. I don't know, we'll see. This is all a learning experience for me. There are the yellow wax beans. You know, between the garden and the blog and YouTube, I'm learning an awful lot at my advanced age. Where is it? Was it here? I think it was the other end of the row. But that looks like it's got flower blossoms coming. Yes, yes there are. Right here. Right there. So yay, I'm going to have some yellow wax beans. And then on this side, we've got the Blue Lake climbing beans, pole beans. Don't have a whole lot of them. Don't know what happened to all of them. And more yellow wax bean blossoms. So yay. Oh, look at you twining around here where you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be going up the pole. Silly plant. Anyway, my composting in place. I just dumped that out. That's the coffee grounds and the eggs from this week. And strawberry hulls. The kids will dig it all up for me this week. Probably by, I don't know, 8 o'clock tomorrow. It'll all be dug underground. They're fast little fiends. And more composting in place. When I get my load of manure that I still have not yet been able to make a connection with, then it will get full of all kinds of rich, gorgeous organic matter. And I will be very happy. Over here, we have some of the gorgeous daylilies. I don't know if these came from my grandmother's farm or my mother-in-law's house. I got them at the same time. They're common ditch lilies. There's no special breed or color or anything. They are just the ditch lilies. But both came to my house at the same time on purpose so that I could mix them up and just love on them. Because I love both my grandmother and my mother-in-law. My little salad garden that definitely needs water. Romanesco broccoli, 4 plants. Nothing forming yet as far as a head goes, or whatever Romanesco does. But I found out after I pulled out my non-sprouting broccoli last year that broccoli leaves are edible. So I have a feeling I'm going to be sauteing them up in butter or olive oil or whatever. There's a cauliflower. I seem to have stuck the cauliflower in sideways anywhere I could find them. Place for them. This is the habanero red. Roast burn tomato that has, up at the top there, it has, I'm going to zoom in there, some flowers. So we'll be getting tomatoes. There's another cauliflower I stuck in sideways. More tomatoes. Oh, that's the one that got all stripped of its leaves. It was just a little, I don't know, it just had one leaf. And it's coming back. So we'll let it. In amongst all of the weeds that I didn't get to. I got along the rock edge there this afternoon in the high heat, which did not make me happy. And there we have more future tomatoes. And over here we have, that's moved over to here so it could be pond liner rock. That's a paver rock. That is a pond liner rock, and I'm going to try to angle it so that this little shelf part here can be a throne for the little fairy statue, I think. Probably right there. I think that would be a good spot for it. Or maybe down a little bit further. But this is what my husband dug out for me yesterday while I was out picking strawberries at the strawberry farm. because my 10 plants, 12 plants aren't producing enough. I'm not expecting them to. I just planted them this spring. So he dug out this bit here so it's nice and flat. And then I put these rocks down here today. I'm going to trim this about halfway, fold it over, and then lay rocks on top of that. That's so the water, if it overflows, it just goes to that part. It does not go up over and into this part and leak out. Those are the yellow irises that I took out of that tier when we were trying to find the leak. Never did find the leak, it just stopped. Today we had a lot of evaporation, but that's to be expected. The water lilies have all closed up for the night. Oh, we have some happy returns. Well, they're almost closed up for the day. These are really nice. They bloom on and off all summer. They are not a bloom and quit daylily. My zucchini. Look, I've got baby zucchini. I'm so happy. I am going to be firing up the dehydrator like crazy. Yeah, I know, that's probably powdery mildew all over those. I think that's what it's called. It doesn't seem to affect the production of zucchini. I had it on last year's plant and I got more zucchini than I could deal with at the time. Now that I know about zoodles and deep dehydrating and grading and freezing. Well, I already knew about the grading and freezing, but I planted 2 instead of just 1 this year. So hopefully I'll have my fancy schmancy low carb zucchini muffins all winter long. And I won't have to ration them out quite like I did this year. I didn't freeze as much as I should have. The pears, I love this pear tree. It produced, look how polluted with pears this thing is. It's wonderful. I have 1 jar of pears left. We may use them when the family gets here. Or we may just pretend that we don't have any pears and keep them for ourselves because we're evil. Love you, Matt and Rachel. Anyway, Matt probably won't watch this. And we put a rock in here to try to eliminate the splashing. As you can see, it did not. It's still splashing. I'm thinking maybe if I rotate it 90 degrees, maybe it won't splash quite so much out. I'm not sure. We're losing a bit of water that way. I got a lot of the weeds out of here. Well, a lot of them came back because that's what weeds do. But working on it. Moved some of these rocks around. And these 2 rocks were not here. They've gotten shifted. And still have all of that to redo. But I found my fence. It was hiding behind all of that stinking Virginia creeper. The ivy we wanted. The Virginia creeper, not so much. I filled 2 full garbage bags with the pulled vines. I put them in the garbage bags instead of trying to compost them because that stuff roots where you would not expect it to. It grows up in cracks, it grows underneath decks, the least little bit of dirt, and look at this stuff. It's awful. And I had hacked this back about 3 months ago. It's terrible. And I worked on the front fenced yard. You wouldn't know it. It still looks like a jungle, but look, you can see dirt now anyway. Amongst the pile of weeds that is what I managed to pull out of here. But I'm really, really excited about what we will be getting in about, well, hopefully we'll be getting some within a week. My wild raspberries. Look at them. They are so sweet. They're very, very seedy. Very, very seedy. I am hoping that I will get a few cups worth. Oh, look, 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 look. They're changing color. Yay! I'm hoping I will be getting enough before the 3rd. I want to make some raspberry curd, which really, couldn't you have a nicer name than curd? For some reason, curd just sounds, I don't know. It doesn't sound as nice as what it really is. But I want it by the 3rd so I can give it to my mother-in-law for her birthday. We're going down there for a family picnic. And I may actually have enough. Yay. I see all of the bindweed and I don't know what these things are. This, let's see if I can get a picture of it. It's got bindweed all over it too. Morning glory. But it's got a very tube-like, where is it? A tube-like stalk. The kids used to throw them at each other because the root ball is much heavier. So it sort of is weighted like, I don't know, a dart or a javelin. So they'd pull them and throw them at each other. Let's see if I can get a... Nah, doesn't work. Anyway, so this is my thicket. My awful, awful jungle. Actually, maybe just 2 days of... If I can find a nice cool day of hacking and slashing. This was mostly just me yanking with good heavy thick gloves on. But the raspberries really, 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 really need hacked back. I just want a row along the back and along there. And that is not dirt on my finger. That's what happens when your finger gets in between a fence post and a hand sledge. Just a nasty bruise. Doesn't hurt. It's just ugly. I keep thinking it's dirt and it gets in my way. And I did get some lumber so that we can build the frames for the honey cow. Hopefully that will get done this summer also, because come spring next year, I want bees. I guess we're done here. My little strawberry in the planter was doing quite well. I took the last strawberries off of it this morning. What else are we doing? Oh, we've got in the sunflower. I think we've got a sunflower coming. I think that's what that is. And it's just gotten dusk enough that the little cheapy solar lights are starting to come on. Jada, are you coming in? Jada, you coming in? Yeah, you're going to have to go around because I left the gate open for you. There you go. All right, let's go look at the front yard. We haven't done that for a while. Okay, starting at the front, the lamium is still blooming. And I don't know if you can see the color difference, but all of a sudden I'm getting pink ones. I didn't plant pink ones, they were always the purple ones. But I have a few pink ones in here. How nice. I can see this needs weeded again. The mint is growing. Looks ugly, but it's growing. The pie pumpkin is being a pie pumpkin. More mint. More cheapy solar lights that are doing great. Cabbages don't seem to be getting any heads yet. When do they start getting heads? I mean, they're gorgeous. The leaves are really nice. But I've got none of them are getting heads. My chocolate mini bell pepper is getting a blossom. They look like they could use a little bit of water too. My kohlrabi, and yes, the 2 bags were just swap labeled. That's, I guess, what kohlrabi looks like. Oh yes, they are. Oh, that's bulbing up nicely. I'll have to see when I'm supposed to harvest them. Because, as I've repeatedly said, I haven't got a clue about kohlrabi. But those... Well, that one's not got anything on it. That one there has nothing on it. Neither do these. Oh, that one in the back is starting to bulb up. This one here. Okay. And my poor little hosta that's been traumatized. Let's see. Beets. Starting to get let's see if this will even show up on the camera, if it's just going to look like one big blur. There's a few in there. And I've taken the leaves and used those in salads. Well, one salad. But really, look at all of those. That is so pretty together, the green and the red. My second crop of radishes from where I thought was kohlrabi, and it isn't. That first crop, that's just absolutely ridiculous. I love it. My sense of the absurd. These guys aren't doing as well as the other ones, and I don't know why. They're planted at the same time in the same row. And my turnips. How does one know when a turnip is ready? Ooh, look at that. That's a turnip there. Yay. Okay, but how do I know when it's actually ready? This one here doesn't look like it's getting anything. Well, we'll see. And what do I have here? King of the North bell peppers. They're not doing so spectacular. Maybe by the end of the summer they'll be producing. And there's a chocolate bell pepper, like the other little minis. And that one there. And that poor little one there, it's surrounded by the rocks. So that I know it's not a weed because it's struggling so bad. Let's see, over here, my creeping phlox is looking pretty bedraggled. And I dropped the phone. So, let's see, where are we? Pulling a weed. Good grief, that had a heck of a root. Root. And that is, what is that? That's another one of those little yellow daylilies. The, blanking out on the name of it. Same thing that was planted in the backyard. Slowly but surely, my goal is to get rid of this green stuff that's supposedly yard. I planted the sedum, I think it's Autumn Joy. There's a marigold in there, but it's not doing so great. It's just kind of hanging out. There are daffodils in there. I don't think I actually got any blossoms this year. They've been in there for a while, but I've separated them and so on, but they're just not doing anything. This is doing quite well. Need to deadhead it. But boy, is it doing. Look how thick and lush and all of those buds coming. And this is another one of the Happy Returns. That's what it is. It's called Happy Returns. Kind of would like to get a Rosy Returns also. That's a pinkish one. And my little Gerbera Daisy has a new leaf. So yay. I didn't think it was going to. I thought it was just going to shrivel up and die. And this marigold is doing quite well. And the iris that will not die, that's fine. It's doing quite well. And this is a pink daylily, unnamed. This Kmart lied and said it was a pink daylily, and it's red. And this one too. And the peonies, I've got to get in there and take care of those. Also need to weed it. But the peonies were gorgeous this year. And there's actually supposedly what I thought again was a pink daylily. Can you sense a theme here? Back in this little corner here, at the Philadelphia Flower Show, the bag said pink. It's not pink. It was sort of not quite a ditch lily orange, more of a coral color, but it sure wasn't pink. The only one I got that's pink, I got from a neighbor down the road, that he got from his parents' yard, and it's the only one I've got that's pink. I actually have two in the backyard that I will show you if and when they bloom this year. There's Fluffy and Spike. And there's my, what everybody here calls a geranium. And yes, I know it's not a geranium. It's I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. Pelargorum, I think. Traffic's picking up for some reason. Huh. But that, oh, my house looks awfully red in this light. It isn't. It's more of a, well, I'm not really sure what color it is, but it's supposed to be sort of a brickish color. Anyway, that is the update for June 19th. Bye.